Coach, just what comes to mind when you think about what Kevin Durant has been able to do this season, despite all the adversity and guys in and out of the lineup and what he's been able to consistently do for this group?
Kevin's, he's just incredible. I mean, his level of play is insane. I mean, just the efficiency, the leading the league in scoring with as few shots as it takes for him to do so is incredible in its own right. But I think just some of the nights he's had to close games down the stretch, to defend at the rate he's defended at, he put it all together, and it's been just an incredible start to the season.
What's your expectations and plan for Langston Galloway?
Well, we'll see. It's tricky. Without shoot around, because of COVID, we're not having shoot around. We're going to meet right before the game and go over the game plan. And so, we a very quick introduction, and let's see if we get a chance to use him and, see what type of shape he's in and how he fits with the group. But it really is going in blind.
Greg Logan.
Steve, even with 9 guys, what kind of consideration do you have to give to getting Durant some kind of rest during this period? Because it's not just one game, it's 5 or 6 games in this period.
Yeah, it's a really important topic. I don't know that we can continue to lean on him the way we have. It doesn't feel right. And, I know he's enjoying it. I know he's enjoying playing at the rate he's playing at and trying to, bring his teammates along with him and all the responsibility that he's accepted and crushed. Basically, it's just been incredible. But at the same time, we know that's not safe or sustainable to continue to lean on him like that. So, there's going to be a lot of consideration, and we'll have to figure out a way to give him breaks.
Brian Lewis.
Hey, Steve. How many more of the hardships available to you do you anticipate using? And I guess what goes into that decision? Is it how many more COVID cases you have? Is it the players that are available to you? What goes into the decision? How many of them?
I think it's about how many players do we have? How many able bodies are we able to roll out there? So those are discussions that, we will be ongoing. And, it's a lot of it is a front office question, but, we will definitely discuss it and trying to figure this period out as we go through this stretch.
Alex Schiffer.
Steve, kind of going off that with the navigating of all this, is it harder to prepare for an opposing team right now based on what is who's going to be available for them and how that could change at any moment, or is it harder on your end with your own personnel?
I think we always lean a little bit towards ourselves, trying to make sure we're prepared and that we're growing, we're getting better, we're improving, we're working at the things that we need to address. So, I think it's always about your team more so. So I would say it's more troubling to have to adjust to who's available in your locker room than the other teams.
Tim Bontemps.
Steve, how much of I know you obviously are not in control of what's going on with COVID around your team in particular, but how much of a sense of relief was it to just get through the past, I'm not trying to jinx you, but to get through the past couple of days since Tuesday without any more positive tests and kind of just being able to have the same group again for tonight's game?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, the question is, we're above the threshold, so to speak, which is positive. At the same time, we're barely above the threshold. So what toll does that take on our players? So, is it better to be over the threshold and to not be playing until you have a healthy roster? Or is it better to, have enough to play, but to be shorthanded, and the burden and the toll that takes on these guys, and knowing that you're going to have guys coming back who haven't been able to practice or play basketball. So it is definitely tricky to navigate.
Christian Winfield.
Hey, Coach, what's the testing procedure like? I know last game, I think James and Bruce didn't get ruled out until an hour before tip-off. Is that the same tonight? Like, is there still a bit of uncertainty as to whether this game is going to happen because you still have to have tests rolling in, or do you know everybody's status already?
We'll be testing in the morning, so the results come in the late afternoon, evening. So that was the results that we were waiting on. So I assume all the results from this morning are in, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, when you have an emergency and you're kind of forced to throw in some guys that don't play that much, it's not uncommon that they give you like a good production. I guess the challenge is to sustain that kind of production. Do you agree? And did you talk about that?
Yeah, it's I thought our rookies responded incredibly well to their first kind of stint of heavy minutes, heavy responsibility. But you're right. It is one night can be aided by that energy of getting your opportunity, but to sustain it and for the other team to prepare for you in that way, it makes it more challenging every night as you go. And so it is something that we'll have to watch and see how they respond. But the most important thing is that they play with confidence. They play with a certain amount of freedom, and at the same time are just playing really hard. When you're a young player, you can make up for a lot of your mistakes or inexperience by playing really hard, having a ton of energy and just having that will. But when we're playing as many games as we are, and they're playing as many minutes as they are, that's another consideration for sustaining that effort as well.
Steve, coaches talk all the time about guys who don't get a lot of playing time taking advantage of their opportunity. What impressed you specifically about both Edwards and Duke and what they gave you the other night?
Well, they were very productive, clearly. I thought they defended, they rebounded, and they were able to score the ball and affect the game on offense as well. So, they both have, I think, NBA physicality. They're both good defenders and have size for their positions. And I think they both have capabilities offensively to develop into good players. So it was good to see those signs on display and to see them take their opportunity and to affect winning. But they're still development players. We're still trying to continue to see them grow and continue to improve because they do have a lot of upside remaining.
It's a challenge in facing this Philadelphia team led by Joel Embiid.
Yeah, an excellent team. We know Joe is a perennial MVP candidate these days. He's a matchup nightmare. He's able to shoot from the perimeter, but also is a great post player. So they have shooters around him. They have versatility. They have some continuity. So they're a difficult team, and we're going to have to really be switched on tonight to be able to take away some of the easy ones that they're able to get.
Greg Logan. Greg, you muted yourself.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay, logistical question. With no practice, no shoot around, do you guys still have group meetings? Do you have film sessions? Is that how you try to implement a game plan day to day?
Yeah, right before the game, we'll meet, we'll watch some film, we'll walk through quickly. But we definitely are erring on the side of having less or as little time in concentrated group settings. So, it's not the end of the world, but it's not the normal routine.
Alex Schiffer.
Steve, do you happen to know what the guys in health and safety protocols right now? Are they able to do any kind of physical exercise, even if that's just hopping on a bike, or are they just on the couch essentially and in bed until they clear this?
I don't even know that we are there yet. I think they can't. I don't believe they can go into any facility in New York, but they can work out at home if they don't have symptoms. But as far as I don't know what type of equipment or space they have in their homes or apartments or whatever it may be. But as this period drags on, we'll have to obviously start to get them back to moving and getting themselves prepared to return to play.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Steve.